because you have a point on both ends, you can either take it, put it between centers, you know, and then you can turn a tenon onto it if you want to, or you can put it in a vacuum chuck, true the back, put it in a vacuum chuck, and turn it in a vacuum chuck without ever putting a tenon on it. Just do the whole thing in a vacuum, if you have a vacuum system. But this relates more, I guess, to coring than anything, or if you want to mount between centers. If I want to true this bowl now, when it comes time, I don't need to do this to use the chuck. I don't need to use a pad on the chuck to do it. All I'd have to do with this is mount it between centers. I have a point on both sides, and then I can true this up from the center, from the original center. So there's just a lot of different options, just a lot of different ways to attack things. Okay? What else?
One other, these jaws you have, they're number 3 jaws?
These are 3.
They also advertise they have an aluminum jaw. Is that any good?
I never heard of an aluminum.
One Way has an aluminum.
Oh no, that's that big. Isn't that big?
No. They're like number 3 jaws, but they're made of aluminum.
I don't know. Did you say they say they're aluminum or they're shiny?
No, they say they're aluminum.
Wow, that's
very
hard.
strong.
That's what I'm wondering. I looked at the catalogs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, every week.
You know, if you listen, if you watch the tapes on the Australian guy, the guy that turns so fast you can't see what he does.
Yeah.
Rapid. He's big in these deep jaws. They call them shark jaws. I haven't seen a time when they seem necessary. Do you?
I bought them and used them once and haven't used them since.
Yeah,
they don't hold more. That seems like they actually flex a bit at the end to me, but I don't know what they're for.
The one-way profile chucks
chucks
just seem to do everything I need. And those people that believe in Vic Mart, they believe in the dovetail, that it's a better hold, and everybody's entitled to their own belief.
So, now what are you going to do with this piece of wood? Are you going to seal it with anchor seal, or are you just going to stick it in a
This is where
bag?
Tommy and I depart.
Okay.
This is where we go different ways.
Well, this is your
Tommy,
demo. What do you do?
Tommy puts this in a paper bag, and he has a place that he puts it that's probably very damp for a long time. You know, changes the bag after a couple of weeks, Tommy. You don't even change the bag, and he lets it dry that way, and he'll keep it in the bag for 6 months, and then he takes it out of the bag. Where I
You
store,
don't take it out and dry the bag out and stick it
I
in?
use brown paper bags, so it just slows the evaporation.
it just makes sure there's no place for the moisture to get out quick. I take this and I'll anchor seal this. I anchor seal the end grain on both sides and the end grain on the inside, and that's it.
You don't put it in a bag?
Then I put it in a bag.
Okay.
But I only leave it in the bag maybe a month. And then I have that in my shop, and then I take it out and check it every once in a while, make sure it's not mildewing. Because I've had bowls, especially maple bowls, mildew in the garage part of my shop. I think it's too damp there. You know, on the floor.
Okay, so after a month, what do you do then?
I take them down to the shop, to my warehouse where we work, and we have some pallet shelves that are too high to put anything on, and I climb up on a ladder and I put them up in there. And if you
So
go
this is a heated, dry area?
very heated, very dry area, and I probably got 200 bowls up there. I wouldn't say dry, it varies
It's
with
like
the
this
season.
room.
When the heat's on, it's dry.
Yeah.
When it's summertime, we don't air condition, so it is what it is. And I let bowls dry 2-3 years. You forget them after a while because, and that's when it's nice because you have a whole stock of bowls that you can go pick from that are good and dry. How old do you have some bowls?
2 or 3 months.
Oh, 13, 14-year-old bowl. No. I put them in bags for 6 months and I take them out and they sit. Until I ever get to them.
And that's an unheated space, right, Tom?
Yep.
In the wintertime, it's like now, it's cold.
Yeah.
And so there's really no drying going on now because I don't know, that's not right. It must be dry because the relative humidity is pretty low right now.
You stand out there, it's dry.
And then if they don't freeze out, that'll let it out. That's my guide. If you start asking people, you're going to get 100 different ways to do it, and everybody's going to fight that their way's best. That's the one. You do what works for you, and I think a lot of that has to do with where you live. If you live in Utah, I think you
Yeah,
gotta
when you're in mud,
do
dry
everything you
yourself.
can to slow your drying down.
What I have to be careful of is somebody that tells you, always do this, do the opposite.
John
You
drives, he drives this for 2 weeks and that's a long
No,
time.
no, a couple of months.
Oh, is it that long now? Well, you increased it.
Well, I'll tell you, that couple of months makes a difference. You know, they won't move as much. They do the bulk of their moving in the first couple of months, right, John?
Well, it depends on the wood too.
Yeah.
They're small bowls, you may tougher that a little bit, but big ones, you got a couple of months.
If I need, and here we go, this is another conversation that somebody's gonna argue with me if they want to, probably not here. If I need something in a hurry, I'm doing a salad bowl set for somebody, and I had 7 small bowls, only because when I roughed them out, I had 7 small pieces of wood. Well, who the hell wants 7 bowls? You want 8 bowls, or you want 6 bowls? This particular lady wanted 8 bowls, not 6 bowls, and she's a friend of ours. So I needed this last bowl, which is it's a little, only this big, to dry out in a hurry. I keep a tub of denatured alcohol, and I throw it in the denatured alcohol, and it'll stay in there. It's been in there 3 weeks. I usually only leave it overnight. It doesn't hurt. It won't hurt.
3 weeks overnight.
I have to do that when I get home. Take care of that.
What do you do next?
But then I take it out, and within 5 or 6 weeks, in fact, that bowl's not real thick, probably in 2 or 3 weeks. You know, once the alcohol is out of it, then I can turn it, and it'll stay still. I feel like it does an unnatural. There's an unnatural dry hand to the wood.
It's very dry.
Do you feel that way too?
Very
Yeah.
dry afterward.
Yeah, and I don't care for it, so I only do it if I have, if I have an emergency. And once my tub evaporates, that I don't have it anymore, then I
Somebody
just.
do a microwave protocol?
I've never tried it.
The story I hear is that if there you are, and it has to be done in 24 hours, that you you turn it first and then microwave it, but you microwave it only a little bit. I've never done this, but you microwave it only a little bit, and then you let it,
Many times.
and a lot of little ones.
I see.
Because you can set the things on fire. And
Yeah, I guess because the moisture comes from the center,
Yeah,
right, when you microwave?
Yes, I've never done it.
I mean, that's the way it cooks food.
Yeah, I've heard stories about it.
I read about it, but I've never done it.
I'll do it.
I don't need to be in that much of a hurry. This is a hobby to me.
I've seen someone do that.
Has anybody ever tried peg?
Yes. I didn't feel it was the same material that we had when it was
Yeah,
afterwards.
it almost feels slimy and stuff.
Something like that.
You can try to dry it out of it afterwards.
Well, that's actually a material that replaces.
Yeah, it replaces the water.
Yeah.
It's when
Sounds
you,
like an
when you come
antifreeze.
upon a Viking ship and you want to preserve it, what you do is you take the water away and put a peg there. Wait several years.
Rick, that guy, Moulthrop soaks those giant bowls that he sells for huge amounts of money in polyethylene glycol, but, I think he does that because he turns end grain bowls. Those monster bowls are end grain, and probably that's a good thing to do to it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Oh,
What did
sorry.
you say you seal? You seal
Anchor
part of
seal.
your
An anchor seal. It's a wax-based, wax-based water emulsion. And that's another thing people argue about. There's Anchor Seal 1 and Anchor Seal 2. The original Anchor Seal must have been, I've never used it, but it must have been a solvent-based, and so they went green, and now you can only buy that if you buy it directly from Anchor Seal. The stores don't carry it anymore. If you buy it here, you're gonna get the water-based Anchor Seal, and then, it doesn't work, but I've never had a problem with it.
And you just do that on the end grain so that it
The
evens
end
out
grain is
dry.
where moisture comes out of the wood first, because that's like a straw. You think of straws, and the straw is exposed to the air, so it's going to come out of there in a big hurry, and that's where they crack. When it comes out of there, then those cells shrink, and the cells around them over here don't shrink. You get an imbalance of moisture content in the wood, that's cracking.
So why don't you use just like acrylic paint?
You probably could.
You could, okay.
You still want the moisture.
Water-based paste.
Right, but that's why there's something sacred about
Yeah, but I think a lot of paints allow moisture through.
All paint.
Paints have silica, tell you too quick.
You can do anything it takes, but Tommy has great luck because of the way he stores and where he stores. Just putting them in a paper bag and leaving them in a paper bag. If I leave them just in a paper bag, half of the woods that I work with, walnut won't be one of them. But maple or any of the maple family, they're gonna mold on it.
Any fruit wood they crack.
Well,
You don't get scientifically slow it down. It's very unstable. Fruit wood, apple,
I heard cracks bad.
so it's-
Hey, it was fun doing this for you.
Thanks, Butch.
Thanks for having me.
We'll take a 5-minute break and then get to our raffle. If you brought a piece for the, not the raffle, the thingy, you didn't get a number, come see me, you gotta get a gift exchange.